Kids Vegetarians, Myth or Reality, Part 3. We keep to the vegetarian diet. We eat tomatoes, cucumbers, salads, sandwiches, soups without meat, in short, vegetables and fruit. To eat vegetables and fruit is far better than meat. I do understand, of course, what I have given up. Granny sausages, which she used to cook. But now she accepts our new diet and doesn't argue as before. She's not even upset now. My father became a vegetarian, then mom, and then I. As a child, I didn't understand my mother. She said, "I do not force you to become a vegetarian, just listen to me." I interrupted her and said, "Leave me alone, let the child eat." She tried to explain, but I interrupted her. Now I regret it, and I listened to my mother. She told me that she felt sorry for animals, and that vegetables and fruit are much healthier than meat, and that if I loved animals, I should show my compassion and stop eating them. She asked me to be a good person. It is indeed very terrifying. It upsets me when animals are killed just for their meat. It has been 3 years our family have not eaten meat. Parents were the first to give up meat, and then we asked Mom to stop cooking meat for us too. It was Dad who started it all. He was the first to say, "I won't eat meat." I was very surprised because he had been eating it quite a lot. I said, "Okay, let's try it." After 6 months, our children said, "We will not eat meat either." We were shown a film later, maybe after a year of vegetarianism. We saw a very soft film. I mean, without any bloodshed. We thought only once. There were not many talks. I think that personal example played the main role. When my brother Igor was 5 and I was 9, he had problem with the elbow. Doctor recommended using hormones, but Mom didn't want to, and she started to look for the cause. She found out that to eat meat is wrong, and we stopped doing it. I used to have frequent headaches, but when I stopped eating meat, I forgot about them. We don't want to eat animals who are our younger brothers and sisters, as it is said in the textbooks the surrounding world. The atmosphere at home is very important. We didn't force our children to stop eating meat. They stopped doing it half a year later. At the beginning I cooked chicken for them. Then they came up and said, "Mom, we will not eat meat like you and Dad." And I answered, "Okay, let's try." Then I asked them from time to time if they wanted to eat meat. But they replied, "No, we don't want. You prepared a very delicious meal." And then I stopped asking them. When we became vegetarians, our mom was searching for new recipes, because everybody said, "What you are going to eat, only grass?" And Mom found a lot of different delicious dishes that we hadn't known before. They are very tasty. I began to eat vegetables. Now I love salads very much. Mom said that not every child likes red beet, but I adore beetroot salad. Firstly, I like the claret red color of that salad, and secondly, it's very tasty. Fruit, vegetables, salads, cooked cereals are enough for me. I like cereals very much, especially cream of wheat, it's my favorite. For breakfast, Mom cooks cream of wheat and rice, oatmeal, as well as sandwiches with cheese. I like my diet and I do not need anything else. I feel as if I were in paradise. My father told me that we didn't need to eat meat, but I thought, how was it possible? When I stopped eating meat, I became far more active. I can do 13 chin-ups and 53 press-up within a minute, and I am the second in class with the abs. And my class won the first place in the football match. I am a hard worker. I have only 3 marks of 4. A good example. When I was eating meat, I couldn't place myself in lotus, but as soon as I stopped, I could. If a person is a vegetarian, he has better memory and sometimes better eyesight. Children who have meat in their diet can be a little fatter, and those who don't, they don't put on weight. They say that it's easier for them to do physical exercises, to jump as well as practice track and field athletics and weightlifting. They are kind, generous and more responsible. When they are asked to go and do the washing up, they accept it and say, "Yes, I'll do that," and they don't ask for anything in return. This year we trained in the swimming pool, and for half a year girls didn't know that we don't eat meat. And when they finally found it out, they say, "What's wrong with you that you don't eat meat?" You know, I have always been active, and guys do not suspect that we don't eat something until we tell them. As far as diet and health go, judging by my observation and experience with children of different age, I can say that it can favor better educability at school, better attentiveness, progress in yoga practice and better health. In my opinion, it's better for health from medical point of view, as many medical scientists have proved that vegetarianism is healthy. When I stopped eating meat, everything became better with me. I became more healthy. I started to treat animals better. It flashed through my mind that when you kill animals, they feel pain. People kill animals and it means nothing for them. I cannot understand it. One has to know that animals are living creatures. They shouldn't be eaten. If a giant did some harm to man, it wouldn't be pleasant for him. I'd like to have a cat, a dog, a parrot, all of them. It's fun to be with them. If you're at home alone, you can even talk to them. In the supermarket, for example, there is a meat stall there. I just move away from it and try not to look there, because I feel sorry for animals. Children who eat meat ask a lot for some reason. There are pupils in my class who are constantly asking for everything, while others behave in the opposite way. There are other pupils who are vegetarians. They eat only porridge, fruit, vegetables, only healthy food. And they like it, and they don't ask anything. They feel comfortable. They enjoy life without asking anything in return. And others, they want everything. As soon as they see sweets, they start asking, "Mom, Mom, Dad, Granny, Granny, give me some sweets, give me sweets." And what is more, without saying please, they say it without any polite words. It's the only thing that makes me indignant. If they see a cell phone, they say, "Buy me a cell phone." They constantly need something. If they see a jump rope, they say, "Give it to me." We have some guys in class who is always ready to fight. And I, of course, am ashamed of them. They don't care about others. A person should be noble. He shouldn't be indignant at everything. A child should start a day with good morning, wish everybody to have a good mood, and not start a row with mom, as one of my friends does. I was watching him and saw the way he spoke to his mother, and I was terrified. It's such a shame. He was saying, "Leave me alone, give it to me, let me lie down, let me watch TV." I was shocked. How on earth can he speak with his mother in such a way? Those who eat meat are more hot-tempered and aggressive, and those who don't are more quiet and calm. From the point of morality, many of my little ones said that they saw a film and they feel sorry for animals, and they understood that a cat that they flatter is not that much different from a cow that they can also stroke. That is why they came to the conclusion that they shouldn't eat meat. Hence, it deals with the upbringing and parents. I think that the rate of children who think about their future life and why they were born on this planet is probably high in vegetarian families, because many parents, besides vegetarianism, talk with them about the conception of karma, the universal law, do as you would be done by. And unfortunately, in ordinary families, they rarely speak about such things. But these talks definitely leave their mark, because as a rule, vegetarians are those who don't want to kill animals. After such talks and explanations, children become less aggressive. I feel by intuition that it is so. My friends understand me, and some even listen to me and read the book that I recommended. After reading it, I started to recommend it to others. My friends don't say anything bad, they just treat me very well. Frankly speaking, they don't pay attention to it. What is more important for them is that I am there and we are friends. I don't shout on them, I get on well with my classmates. There is no point in fomenting a conflict because of meat and diet, as nobody says, "You don't eat macaroni, what a bad person you are," or "You don't drink milk because of lactose intolerance." There is just no need to make a big accent on it, because we don't attack if someone doesn't eat and like bread. It appears that many children don't eat bread, many dislike milk. One doesn't have to make a big problem out of it. One has to be able to accept and not impose his opinion on others. Just be calm, and if you are, then others will also be calm, and there will be no conflict situation. In case a conflict situation appears, a child should show by his own example and behavior that he feels better on this diet and he is okay. He can calmly explain, "I do accept your lifestyle and I like it. Live as you wish. I don't impose anything on you. We can choose what to eat in our school. There is a buffet where we can buy a bun or some juice, and for breakfast they usually cook porridge or macaroni. I just take macaroni, but without a cutlet or a sausage." When I get to know some new guys, they are very surprised and usually ask, "How it is possible? What about your growth? How will you grow up?" And I reply, "But I do grow indeed, everything is okay with me." I can share my experience with you because I went on a raw diet in the 10th grade of school. I didn't tell that much to my parents. I just faced with them the fact that I would be eaten differently, and that was all. And as parents watched how my physical condition was improving, they naturally couldn't say anything against it, even though they wanted to. And mom was constantly saying, "How it is possible? How will you be eating only raw food?" There are very few of such people yet, and there were few indeed 5 years ago. It was really difficult to prove something to parents and give them examples. Now the raw food diet movement has grown a lot. There are a lot of examples. It is much easier now. We have some dispute with parents and grandparents who eat meat and don't want to give it up. But first of all, we try to cook delicious food. When they say that we eat only grass, we start to list what we really eat, and they cannot eat as much as we do. We cook various kind of porridge, beans, and such rare things as quinoa, and currently we are trying to add amaranth to our diet. Many people haven't even heard about such things. We discovered the Vedic cuisine and Ayurveda, and we try to enlighten our relatives about this kind of things, and of course when they come to some celebration to our place, we cook our delicious dishes and nobody leaves for home hungry. Do you know what I have found out recently? Whatever holidays we celebrate with our relatives, meat is thrown away, while vegetarian food is all eaten up. They always move aside meat in spite of saying that people must eat meat. So they eat our salads, unusual combinations of cereals, some vegetables and bean cutlets, and it ends up with uneaten meat that we have to throw away. It is a repeated situation. With such soft methods, when we show in practice what can eat vegetarians, thus trying to solve this problem. We never argue, and I always tell to my children that everybody has his own opinion. Whenever we're in relationship, I keep saying, girls, grandmother and grandfather have their own experience, which they have went through during their life. You shouldn't argue with them, but let's try to bring something new. Conflicts can arise on difference of opinion on diets. Mainly, the older generation stands up for meat eating, and the younger ones are smarter. They study this issue, watch lectures, strive for vegetarianism, and stand up for the vegetable food. Usually, disagreement and misunderstanding arises when people just don't know how to cook. They have a poor vegetarian diet. And then grannies come to their home and faint as they see in the fridge a limited amount of food, or according to their outlook on life, carrot and salads seem to be very poor. They're worried. Yes, indeed, it's not from malice that they make their children and grandchildren eat meat. They have their own stereotypes, which have been forming for decades. I haven't faced such a conflict in the school. My children feel very confident about their vegetarian diet, and they have never suffered from inferiority complex about. It's due to the fact that since early childhood they have been in such environment. Why should they have an inferiority complex when there are lots of friends and all of them are vegetarians? And as far as family goes, elder relatives cannot accept it that kids are vegetarians. It's a long story, and I understand other families with the same sharp question. I believe we have to find a compromise here. It seems that meat is not what really bothers them. It is a matter of respect. Respect for their experience, respect for their life position, and maybe respect for the lifestyle of their parents. And it is meat eating that they regard as this kind of tradition that comes down from generation to generation, and that is very reasonable and steady. That is why it's very important just to please parents by showing respect for their life positions just because they are older. I believe this conflict should be solved in a very proper but persistent way. A compromise should be found. My father even came to parent meeting in school, and he was criticized for me not eating meat, and Dad explained that to eat meat is bad. In my opinion, due to the current situation in the world, vegetarianism shouldn't provoke any lamentations or superstitions. We're already facing it, we just need to be on good terms with teachers. Parents should maintain close contact with them. My children go to an ordinary school and non-vegetarian hobby groups. That is why I see a lot of non-vegetarian kids who are smart, clever, civilized and sympathetic kids. It often happens that if a family doesn't eat meat, then they also live differently in other spheres of life. For example, they don't inoculate their children. They bring up their kids in a special way. They understand the consequence of their children spending a lot of time with gadgets. They are very knowledgeable parents because to have a baby and to bring him up, they get additional education in related spheres. Most often in psychology and also in such field of knowledge as healthy lifestyle. They are specialists in nutrition, body cleaning techniques, and wholesome life. And besides vegetarianism, they may also condition their children to the cold or do some physical exercises with them. Or maybe they don't do anything on the physical aspect, but they have very conscious methods of child upbringing, when mom spends a lot of time with kids and not just let them sit in front of TV. That is the reason why, besides being vegetarians, such children have a number of positive features, and this is what makes them stand out among other children. My 20 years experience of vegetarianism shows that I am alive and healthy, and children don't have problems with their health either. One shouldn't deal with any dead bodies, and anyway, one day children will raise questions like, "Where is it from? Why?" And parent will have to explain it. For some it is normal, but it is unacceptable for me. All kids get ill, both vegetarians and non-vegetarians. We all catch cold and fall ill. But as for the vegetarians whom I know, they get well more quickly. And most often without any drastic medicine, antibiotics, and of course without hormonal agents. A child can overcome any illness on his own or with the help of traditional remedies. And accordingly, not only health but also thinking and outlook on life will be different in these two cases. If a person keeps to a healthy lifestyle, if he tries to protect his organism from such toxic matters as meat, that has been proved by many scientists to be so, then why he will fill himself with other toxins by smoking or drinking? If to joke, vegetarians have such problems as a lack of bad habits and temperate emotions. I would like to say that you should leave all fears and try it. If you happen not to like it, you always have an option to return. If you are interested in this issue, you can find a lot of new things, including films and new dishes. I think life will become more interesting. The easiest thing is to start cooking delicious and various dishes, including all the necessary products to your diet. Our friends, the Krishnaites, have been quite successful in it. They cook dishes that look exactly the same as the meat ones. There are vegetarian sausages, chicken and other things, and when someone who doesn't know tries it, he will never say that this is vegetarian food. It usually happens that during some celebration and birthday parties, vegetarians silently offer their guests mellow food. The guests don't notice anything and go home satisfied. That is why, if a person has a sensation of the empty stomach, if he feels the lack of some taste when he trying to change his diet to the vegetarian one, it may scare him away, so he needs to eat the products that will fill in the missing taste for some period. But judging by experience, this kind of necessity wears away little by little. First of all, I would recommend eating more salads. It is the easiest thing. There is even no need to look for new dishes or new culinary tendencies. You can just make it a rule to always eat salads for lunch and supper. For when you eat a salad or raw vegetables, you fill the stomach, thus preventing yourself from eating something else. Or if one continues eating something else, even meat, it will be easier digested with vegetables. So, the first step is to eat more salads, because not everyone eats a salad even once a day. We have it 2 times a day. Then gradually it becomes possible to eat meat only once in a day or once in a week. As I have noticed, when you eat more raw vegetables, there is less desire to have meat. We just gave up meat in one day and haven't reverted to it ever since. For those who find it to be hard, I would recommend not to force his organism and every day make some concessions to good food. Eat more salads, then eat less meat. I made up a soup which is similar to chicken soup but with no chicken in it. First, use 2 greens. Then put in another pan potatoes, mushrooms and the stewed greens. After that, add any seasoning that you like. And when soup is ready, it seems that there is chicken in it, but there isn't. This is a way to give up eating meat. At the beginning I didn't eat meat for 1 day, then for a second one. Somehow I wasn't paying attention to it. And then wow, I am a vegetarian. Now I just enjoy life and I almost have no problems. I'm healthy. I'm always happy. I have eventful holidays. Every summer is great. And I fall ill very seldom. My teacher is glad about me. I have only good marks and I'm happy about it too. I have more excellent marks and only in mathematics and Russian I still get 4s. The program at school is difficult and it's not that easy to learn there, but still I like a lot my school, as well as I like this children yoga camp. I like to be everywhere. I do just feel joy about life. Observe the changes that take place in your body depending on the diet that you keep to. Make experiments. You can eat meat for a week and then see what will happen to you. You know, there was such a torture in China when a person was fed on the boiled meat and then he died. It is strange why the same amount of beans and greens will not kill me within a week. See to your health, your organism, and if you have fears, just make experiments. Primarily, listen to yourself. There is no doubt that one should become a vegetarian. There are 2 points in it, from the short and the long terms. In the short term, kids vegetarians gain by health in the first place. They are less exposed to the negative influence of the bad environmental conditions. It is already a lot. In the long term, their brains work better and they suffer less from the chemicals that come with meat. I cannot but mention such things as emotions and attitude to the world, because the fears that animals feel before violent death remain in the meat, and those who eat it undoubtedly absorb these fears and sufferings. If we treat our health, body, appearance and behavior with respect, then this attitude will also spread to all the people around you. How can one treat others with respect and love if he takes no care of himself? For example, I wouldn't like my body to become a cemetery of animals or a dumping ground of whatever comes to hand. I want my organism to enjoy the things that happen to him. I want it to be healthy and never be ill. To help other people and to love them, first of all, one has to love himself, to treat his body with love and respect. In ancient times they said, "You are what you eat." And if to make a start from this phrase, I wouldn't like to be a corpse. I want to be alive, to be a human being. I have a friend who is a vegetarian from early childhood, nearly from the very day of her birth. I cannot speak for everyone, but she has so brilliant head, and she is such a graceful and elegant, inwardly person who delicately treats with others. She is very delicate. This example proves that kids vegetarians can grow to feel others, to feel the body of other people, and they will not incline to break these borders during communication. And I believe that it is the right path. I can say that vegetarianism is very positive, because many people become healthier and their behavior improves when they choose the vegetarian diet. I think that there are only good things about vegetarianism, nothing bad. I have a friend who gets on perfectly well with her mother. She doesn't ask for anything, and she is also a vegetarian. She doesn't eat meat. Together, we try to tell others that it is good to be a vegetarian, and it is a very delicious diet. But some people don't want to change their diet because they are used to it.
привыкли к своему рациону.
Well, let it be so.
Если так получается, ладно. Но главное,
The most important thing is that we grow to be a good people. We don't fight. We behave well in school, and this is what really matters.
Хорошо себя ведем в школе, и это вот самое главное.
One should look after himself, but not after others. Once you have noticed all your mistakes and corrected them, only then you can look after others.